Hey guys, it's Metal Drummer, and this is Tuesday Newsday, where I'm going to start making videos weekly about events and things that are happening around the world and how they affect us and my opinions of it. And the whole idea of this is that I make a weekly video for you guys, and you guys can make a comment or whatever about the subject. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll go to the topic. This week's topic was suggested by someone that watches my Tuesday Newsday videos, Freddie. Thanks for the topic, and it is driver's behaviour. What's acceptable and what's not in the occurrence of a close call or an accident, or someone driving recklessly, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's good timing actually, because I can kind of reference this to the video I uploaded the other day where I was lane filtering and someone started debating what I was doing wasn't right, because what if I damage his car and all this, and I'll link that video as well. It's actually a really good video. This is my opinion, of course. I personally think people should mind their own business if they are not being affected directly by the situation, and I believe that in all walks of life. That's just me. So, like, if let's say this white car was to pull out in front of me without indicating and almost hit me, I would most likely use my horn to let them know, and I may even come up on the driver's side to let them know the frustration that they've put me through. I would try not to swear, but I probably would. That's just how I would react to that. Now, if they were to not indicate and cut someone else off, I probably wouldn't do anything. I would just go, okay. Now, if they were to have an accident with myself and I was able to talk and they came over, yeah, I would give them a huge mouthful. If I was able to walk, I would assume that I would do something I would regret, because in the heat of the moment, they've knocked me off my bike. You know, it's going to be a lot of messing around for me to get to work. It's going to cost me more in fuel to drive the car. You know, there is a lot of things that are going to be affected, mainly my financials, by someone hitting me. So yeah, I would get very aggressive, and my behaviour would not be probably acceptable. Now, if they were to do the exact same thing, like I was saying, they merged in front of someone else without indicating and they hit someone else, I wouldn't do or say anything. I think that's up to them, the person involved in the incident, to deal with. I would not get involved. Now, if if I see people driving recklessly, which you do, I generally don't get involved unless it's going to affect me. You know, if I saw someone right now doing a crazy burnout up here or speeding, I don't think I would even say anything, even if I pulled up at the red light beside them. I'd just, you know, if that's what they want to do, it's not hurting me, that's fine. But if they were to cross into my lane while doing it, then I would get very frustrated, possibly definitely beat my horn at them, and possibly give them a mouthful. And in my opinion, what I've said so far is acceptable. Might not be acceptable to the law or to the general public, but I feel that if you're going to have a close call with someone and not let them know that it is a big deal, they may just do it again. They may go, oh, I almost killed a motorcyclist, but he didn't get upset, so it's okay. And that's why people do get upset. That's why people road rage and give someone the finger and call them oblivious names, because you want them to learn. You want them to go, oh, I did wrong, I've upset someone. You don't yell at someone in that kind of incident except to teach them a lesson. Oh, maybe some people want to fight them, I don't know, but that's just me. If I have a close call and I get abusive, it's because I want them to learn. I want their brain to say, okay, when I don't indicate and I change lanes and I almost hit someone, I might get abused. I might get physically assaulted. I want them to be intimidated. I want them to be scared, so that the next time they go to change lanes, they'll make sure they put that fucking indicator on. And this is obviously a topic that does get me heated, because I am getting heated just thinking about how many people do not drive safely and do not care. And I personally think that people that act calm and don't do anything, I don't think that helps. If someone almost hits you, you need to speak your mind. If they almost take your life because you're on a motorbike, you need to speak your mind. And now onto the part of this topic that may upset some viewers. I personally think motorcycle riders do react worse in most situations because the outcome is much worse, and people don't even think of that. That car just ran a red light. People don't think that, if I get rear-ended, that's alright, insurance will deal with that, my car will be back in a week, I'll get a loan car. If I get rear-ended, I might die. I might get permanent spinal injuries. I might not be able to work ever again. I might become homeless. Just because someone is texting, someone that's not focusing on the road. And my life's ruined. And yeah, you can take them to court, you can sue them, all that, but a lot of that takes a lot of time to come through, and you may not ever get it. If you don't have proof or whatever, or if someone deems you an unsafe rider during whatever happened, if they claim that you caused it, I don't know how it all works, but that's the part people really need to think about, is when a motorcyclist is angry, he's not angry because he's had a bad day. He's angry because his life is more at risk than anyone else's on the road. And it's the same with cyclists, I get. They get pretty upset when you get close to them too. It's the same kind of drill. I'm not going to talk about cyclists though. Not now. That might be next week's topic. Hey, there we go. That'll be next week's topic. Cyclists. Damn. How do we get onto that? So, yeah. That's the part that people really need to think about. When they see a motorcycle rider getting really angry, blah, 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 they just think, that's just an angry cunt or whatever. No, we're not all just angry cunts. It's that it happens more often to us that we have close calls. And when the close call is an impact, the result is much worse. It's not just a rear-end $1,000 fix kind of drill. It's a much more serious outcome. So yeah, driver's behaviour when involved in an incident. What's acceptable, what's not? Like if I was riding through here right now and someone moved across to block me, I would get very angry because what I'm doing is legal. I'm doing 30 kilometers per hour. I am lane filtering legally. And they want to take the law into their own hands because they're uneducated or because they've had a bad day or whatever, or because a motorcyclist at some point has lane filtered and clipped their mirror. It's my fault. It's not my fault. It's... yeah. So yeah, if I'm lane filtering and someone blocks me in, I generally don't do anything unless I almost hit them. If I almost hit them, then yeah, I get very, very heated. And That's happened a few times, but I've never had my camera on, sadly. It's really annoying. The one time you don't have your camera on, that's when things happen. So, so what do you guys think? Do you think it's acceptable for people to get into a verbal fight, whatnot, if they almost have an accident? And this goes for cars too, you know, if cars are driving along and they almost have an accident or whatever. Yeah, I personally, I don't really like road rage, but it does happen, and generally there is a reason for it. It's not just two dickheads yelling at each other for no reason. That generally one of them has done something wrong. One of them has put the other person's life at risk or whatever. But yeah, tell me what you guys think, because I've given my little say. I'm thinking of anything else I should add to this video. Do you guys think it's acceptable for a driver to follow another driver, to, you know, hunt them down, to follow them, to bother them? Do you think that's acceptable? I think it depends on what your motive is, like what you want to do if they pull over. If you're gonna bash them or something, then yeah, it's probably not a good idea to follow someone. But I'll admit I've followed people before just because I wanted to ask them whether them putting my life at danger was worth the risk. You know. Because I don't think it is. I don't think it's worth, you know, a lot of people cut you off and whatever, and they indicate at the last second with, you know, you've got no room, and they're putting your life at risk so they can get to their location quicker. It's stupid. And when do you think it would be acceptable to follow someone, to hunt them down? I think if you've had an accident and they leave the scene, it's more than acceptable. Or, you know, or they've put your life at risk, I think it's acceptable, so you can ask them what the hell is wrong with them. But that's all for this week's video. As said earlier, topic next week will be cyclists, and feel free to recommend any topics. I've got a couple from a subscriber that are on the back burner. I just got to think how I want to word and put the topics that he's suggesting into a video, and I'll get to them all eventually. Just don't give me really hard ones, eh? So that's all for this week, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye. This week's topic was